And the thing about COVID is you've heard the term heterogeneous used to describe the long COVID symptoms because there's just so many different variables. The virus itself is fairly reckless, and there are many different systems it can affect, and it can affect them in different ways to different extents depending on your pre-existing conditions and various other factors, like how much virus were you exposed to. So
Or
that's
other
one of the reasons,
viruses in your life. Let's not forget about that. Like, if
right?
you've had a lot of viral exposure in your life, you're probably more likely to have these more extreme latent reactivations because you literally have more virus in you. So I
Oh
think,
yeah, and a great example of that is Epstein-Barr virus, right? Because
right.
a good portion of the population has it in a latent form where it's not actively causing them issues, or maybe not obviously causing them issues. Maybe it's subtle, or maybe it's building. But one symptom I've seen people that have that latent Epstein-Barr that gets reactivated after having had COVID is something called Guillain-Barre syndrome, which is a nerve related disease that can temporarily paralyze limbs. That's the complex interaction between SARS-CoV-2 and Epstein-Barr virus.
Well, here's an interesting little tidbit, and you can correct me on this if I'm saying this wrong. Basically, this is a good example of how you can have two symptom sets that look similar but are different. So you can have this paralyzation of your limbs via neurological, but it also looks like stroke damage. So sometimes they'll just be like, "Oh, did you have a stroke? Did you have a thing?" It can look very similar, and so that can also confuse and slow down treatment because we try to fit everything into a box. Like we try to fit everything into like an easily manageable, easy to interpret, easy to treat box. And I think this is kind of where we are with COVID in general. I think that this is going to be a big part of what we're doing and what we've been doing this whole time, Freeze, is
Yeah,
talking about like the box we put COVID in so that we can understand it and how everyone's being really lazy, in my opinion, about building a new box. Everyone keeps
well,
trying to fit it into like leftovers of other boxes.